Alright, here they asked me to graph the function, list the vertex and intercepts. Alright, so I'm still going to use my formula. Let's use a different color pen. I thought I'd pick up green. So we'll have x equal to negative b over 2a. We're going to use that. Remember, this is a and this is b. The x linear term is b, the coefficient of that. So this will be negative 8 over 2 times 1, which would be negative 4. So my vertex is going to have an x-coordinate of negative 4. To figure out the y-coordinate, I just plug that in. So y is equal to negative 4 squared plus 8 times negative 4, which is y is equal to 16 minus 32. So y will be equal to negative 16. So there's your vertex. They also ask you to list the vertex, which we did, and find the intercepts. This graph does open upward because x squared is positive. And it says that the vertex is at 4, negative 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's negative 4. And let's just say we go down 16. Let's call this negative 16. Okay? So there's negative 4, negative 16. Another thing we might want to figure out is where it crosses the y-axis. To find a y-intercept, all you do is you let x be 0. And if x is 0, then y is 0, because 0 squared plus 8 times 0 is just 0. So I know the y-intercept is going to be at 0, 0 right there, which is also an x-intercept. To find another, for x-intercepts, you let y be 0. So you'd say 0 is equal to x squared plus 8x, and I could factor out an x. So x times x plus 8. And this would tell me that either x is 0 or x is negative 8. So I know that it'll be at 0 and 1, 2, 3, 4 more over here at negative 8. That's where it crosses the x-axis. So the graph of this is going to look rather like this. Alright. The next problem here is a little different in that they ask us to find an equation for the graph. Okay? Find an equation for this graph. So the general form of an equation is y is equal to a times x minus h squared plus k. Okay? So these are the things that I know. I can already tell that the vertex of this is going to be at negative 1, 0, because there it is. And it also has a y-intercept. There's another point that I can see there. The y-intercept is 0, 1. Okay? So if with the vertex at negative 1, 0, I could write my formula, and it would be y is equal to a times, remember that the vertex is your hk, so there would be a times x plus 1, because it says x minus h, you take opposite sign, squared plus k. You don't have to say plus 0. Okay? The only thing I need to figure out is what a is, and to do that, you can use your y-intercept, because your y-intercept is a point on the graph. So we'll let y be 1, and we'll say a times, so we'll let x be 0, so that would be 0 plus 1 squared, or we could say 1 is equal to a times, this comes out to be 1, or 1 is equal to a. Okay, so a is 1, which you actually don't have to write it down. So from this equation here, we'll just go y is equal to x plus 1 squared, and there is our equation of the graph.